You got a $15,000 raise and saved zero of it. 12 months later, the account still reads $2,000. Same number as before the promotion. The money didn't vanish into some crisis. It just quietly evaporated into a slightly nicer version of the life you already had. So where did it actually go? This is Rocket Finance, where we do the math the money apps politely skip over. Today we're answering one specific question. When your income goes up, but your savings don't, where does the difference physically end up? And how much is it really costing your future self? It's not vague, it's calculable. If you'd rather understand the mechanics than be told to just budget better, stick around and hit subscribe. This channel is for people who want the receipts. Here's the part nobody selling you a budgeting app wants to say out loud. The entire consumer economy is engineered around a single assumption that your spending will rise to meet whatever you earn. Every subscription defaulted to auto-renew, every upgrade for just a little more, every payment option quoted as a comfortable monthly number instead of a total. That's not an accident. It's a marketing machine built to capture your raise before you ever see it as a choice. You're not weak-willed. You're a rational person walking through a system specifically designed to make the default option the expensive one. And the data shows it working exactly as intended. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans earning over $100,000 a year still live paycheck to paycheck. Not the struggling, the supposedly comfortable. High earners with empty savings accounts aren't the exception, they're the norm. Look at Marcus, a 32-year-old software developer in Austin who finally sat down with 3 months of statements after a promotion. He guessed his discretionary spending, the dining out, the subscriptions, the stuff, ran about $800 a month. The real number was $2,100. That $1,300 gap was his entire raise, hiding in plain sight, one tap at a time. The Bureau of Labor Statistics found the mechanism behind this. Americans at nearly every income level spend roughly the same percentage of what they earn. So, I'll save more when I make more isn't a plan. It's statistically a trap. The percentage doesn't move on its own. You have to force it. And the small stuff is not small. A $5 daily coffee runs $1,825 a year. Invested over 30 years at a 7% return, that's about $172,000. Consider Jennifer, a nurse in Denver, eyeing an apartment upgrade from $1,400 to $1,850 a month. Before signing, she ran the number the leasing office never will. $450 more every month for 30 years invested. Roughly $590,000 in lost retirement wealth. She found a place at $1,550 instead. Same idea for David, 41, in Columbus, who got a $10,000 raise and, the same day, pushed half of it into his 401k before it could touch his checking account. That one decision, over 25 years, is worth around $270,000. So why do smart people, people who understand compound interest, people who could do this math, still let it happen? The mechanism is called lifestyle inflation, and the reason it's so hard to fight is that it never arrives as a decision. Nobody consciously chooses to spend their whole raise. It happens through 100 tiny, reasonable upgrades that each feel earned. The nicer apartment because you work hard. The premium streaming tier because it's only a few dollars. The twice-weekly food delivery because you're tired, which, at $35 an order, quietly becomes $3,600 a year. And it isn't even a subscription, so no audit ever catches it. Here's what nobody tells you. The danger isn't the big luxury purchase you'd notice and feel guilty about. It's the slow reclassification of wants into needs. Last year's treat becomes this year's baseline. The raise gets absorbed before it's ever visible as money, because it enters your life as a lifestyle, not a number. Your brain files the new spending under normal and moves on. That's not a character flaw. That's just how humans adapt to comfort, and the entire system is built to exploit exactly that reflex. Which brings us back to that account still reading $2,000 12 months after your raise. Now, you know it didn't disappear. It was captured by a marketing machine that quotes you monthly numbers instead of total costs, and by a brain wired to treat every upgrade as the new floor. The $15,000 is real. It just got converted into a slightly better apartment, a few more subscriptions, and a delivery habit, none of which you'd have consciously traded for a chunk of your retirement. Here's the one takeaway. The only reliable fix is to move the money before you can spend it. Automate the savings the day after payday, so you spend what's left after saving instead of saving what's left after spending. One person who made that single switch watched his savings rate jump from 12% to 26% in 2 months without earning a dollar more. You were never bad with money. You were the target of a system that profits precisely when your spending rises to meet your income. And it succeeds by making the expensive default feel like the normal one. Seeing that clearly is the whole game, because you can't intercept a raise you didn't know was already spoken for. If this made the math finally make sense, subscribe and hit like. That's how more of this reaches people getting quietly outmaneuvered. Keep your money working for you here at Rocket Finance.